very tremendous and does not contain any commercial content. It is not meant for any commercial purposes, having tremendous speeds, that is almost 10 gigabits per second, that is the speed of internet too, and several domain names are approved. That is, all of us might be knowing .com, .org, .net. In this way, several domain names are approved. For example, if a person wants to create a website in his name, he can have the extension as .name, because it is created in the name of the person, so the extension can be .name. If a professional creates a website in his name, he can have the extension .pro. .pro stands for professional. Similarly, if there is any business organization, it can have the extension .biz, B-I-Z, business. In this way, several domains are approved after year 2000. This is about brief history of the internet. So, World Wide Web is developed and email is invented, all these things we have seen. Now, let us move on to next topic, the way the internet works. First of all, let us understand here what is a network and what are the advantages of networks. We have already seen that a network is nothing but an interconnection between two or more computers. Whenever there is an interconnection like that, we gain several advantages. One such advantage is resource sharing. That is, files can be shared among several computers in the network. Similarly, any hardware resources, for example, a printer can be shared by all the computers in the network. So, in such a way, with minimal resources, we can achieve maximum benefit. That is the main advantage of a network. So, physical resources can be shared, so that the cost of the things gets reduced. So, with minimal cost, we can achieve ultimate or optimal performance. So, the second advantage of network is generating savings. It generates savings. Third advantage is it provides communication. That is, one can interact and one can send messages to other over the network. That is what is called email. So, electronic mail is nothing but we can send messages and receive messages electronically over a network. That is possible in case of networks. And the next one is reliability. That is, if a portion of network is down, if a portion of network is not working, we can send messages through other portion of the network. That is, when a portion of network is down, the work never halts, it continues. That is one advantage of networks. And the last one is scalability. That is, as the workload increases, number of clients, number of servers, that is number of computers can be increased. So, depending upon the workload, number of computers, number of systems in the network can be increased. Now, let us see what are the physical components required for establishing a network. Servers are needed. Servers are nothing but those systems which respond to the requests of clients. So, client is one which requests for service and servers respond accordingly. And second one is routers are required. Routers are nothing but those special computers which guide the packets in appropriate direction. Let us see very shortly what is the purpose of this router. And the next one is copper wires and optical fiber cables. Similarly, there are radio waves and microwaves. All these things, copper wires, fiber optic cables, radio waves and microwaves act as medium. They act as the medium through which messages can be sent, data can be sent and data can be received. So, these are the physical components that are required. Now, let us see what is client server. As we know, client requests for something, whereas server responds accordingly by fulfilling the request of client. For example, if we see the internet, browser is called as web client. It requests for web page, whereas there is a server at website called web server, which responds to the request of the client and sends the requested web page. So, client is always meant for requesting service. Server responds accordingly by fulfilling the requirements of the client. In this way, client server environment works. However, large number of clients are connected to small number of servers. So, number of servers is minimal, whereas large number of clients are attached to these servers, which meet the requirements of the clients. This is what is called client server model. Next, let us see interconnected networks and communications. In this, we know that internet consists of different networks. Internet is nothing but network of networks, we said. So, it consists of different networks, and each network consists of different systems. So, internet is nothing but a combination of different systems with different architectures. Naturally, the language of each system is different. For example, language of Intel processor is different from that of, say, AMD processor. So, in this way, different systems speak different languages. So, if we want to send a message from one computer to another computer, that is, if we want to establish a communication between two systems, we need something called cooperation. So, cooperation is required in order to send a message from one system to another system. Such cooperation can be established using protocol. So, what is a protocol? A protocol is nothing but a set of guidelines. A protocol is nothing but a set of guidelines which are used and which are to be followed while sending a message from one computer to another computer, so that all the computers in the network speak only one language. That is the main idea. So, the protocol is nothing but a set of guidelines that are to be followed while transmitting messages from one computer to another computer, and so that all the computers speak only one language and communications can be established among the computers in the network. So, let us see one such protocol called TCPIP. TCPIP is nothing but transmission control protocol and internet protocol. So, these two are generally referred together, not separately. TCP/IP we call them. TCP is used for establishing communication. TCP is used for establishing communication among the computers in the network. So, TCP permits or provides communication among the computers in a network, whereas internet protocol provides data routing. That is, it permits the packets, it guides the packets in appropriate direction. That is being taken care by internet protocol. So, the two protocols, one is TCP, another is IP. TCP, that is transmission control protocol, establishes communication among computers. Once communication is established, internet protocol guides the packets in the appropriate direction, so that data moves from source computer to destination computer without any problem. And TCP/IP is known as language of the internet. So, TCPIP is known as the language of the internet because internet consists of several computers and all the computers speak same language, so that communications can be established and data can be moved across these computers without any problem. So, the main advantage of TCP/IP is establishing common language for all the computers in the network. That is the reason why TCP/IP is called the language of the internet. So, this is very popular protocol that is being used. It by itself consists of several hundreds of protocols. For example, TCP it by itself consists of several hundreds of protocols within it. Now, let us see how this TCP works. First of all, the TCP protocol decomposes or divides the message into number of pieces. It divides the message into number of pieces and they are called packets or also called IP packets. So, a large message is decomposed or divided into number of small pieces. For example, if 10 tons of rice is to be transmitted or transported from one place to another place, what the businessman does? Does he pour entire 10 tons of rice into the lorry? No. He divides that one into number of packets, so that they can be handled very easily while moving the content from one place to another place. Similarly, here also what this TCP/IP does is, the message is decomposed into number of small individual pieces which are called packets or IP packets, and then they are given sequence numbers. They are given sequence numbers 1, 2, 3, in that way they are given sequence numbers. So, for example, see here there is a message which is decomposed or divided into number of pieces and then they are given sequence numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 in this way. Later on they are transmitted over the internet. So, after the message is split into number of pieces called packets, then they are transmitted over the internet. But at that time, the packets need not be sent in sequence. There is no compulsion that packet 2 has to be sent after packet 1, packet 3 has to be sent after packet 2. So, packets need not be sent in sequence. Similarly, all the packets need not be sent in the same path. Some packets may go in one direction, the rest of the packets may go in another direction. So, that is the main advantage. What is the reason of some packets going in one path, other packets going in another path? Assume that after some period of time, a portion of the network is busy or a portion of network is down. At that time, the router guides the packets in alternative direction. That is the advantage. So, some packets may go in one direction, rest of the packets may go in another direction. Let us see this one graphically. A message is to be sent from source computer to destination computer. So, there are two computers and there is a message in source computer which is divided into number of packets using TCP. So, TCP is taking care of converting the packets into number of packets. Later, after message is split into number of packets, they are given sequence numbers. So, in this way they are given sequence numbers. These sequence numbers are important because at the time of reassembling the message, whenever we want to reassemble the message, using these sequence numbers, the actual message can be recomposed. So, at the time of assembling the message back into original form, the sequence numbers are used. So, that is the purpose of giving sequence numbers. Once sequence numbers are given, they are transmitted over the network. They are sent over the network and Internet protocol takes care of guiding the packets in appropriate direction. So, here routers are used so that messages are directed towards the destination. Let us say packet 1 is sent here, it has reached the destination. Similarly,